Today, I will give you 5 steps for you to increase your chances of getting a significant pay rise. I have done in my life well over 500 salary reviews, and I've hired well over 100 people during the past 15 years as a line manager for one of the biggest wealth managers in the world here in Switzerland. So join me for a walk away from the financial drama and noise, and let's talk about this topic. It's a really important topic. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools and the confidence to boost your income and to receive the financial recognition you deserve. Pay rises are a great and necessary tool to build your wealth, so let's dive in. All right, so before we start, let's actually cover 3 ways how really not to do it. So this is really important as so many people get this wrong. So number 1 is you go to your employer and you ask for a pay rise to support your lifestyle costs. So you go around and say, oh, I need more money because my rent went up and I need to pay for my food and for my car and for my yacht and for my swimming pool and whatever. It's not your employer's job to pay for your lifestyle. It's the employer's job to pay you for the value you provide. And we'll cover this a bit later. But, and I've seen people asking for these type of salary increases, but then, they go out drinking 4 times a week and they just bought a brand new car on lease and all these things. And maybe the way you should look at this is more, how can you work on your spending habits? Or we'll cover later, how do you actually get the pay rise, but not with this argumentation. Number 2 is blackmailing. So I've got a job that pays me $1 million and I want you to pay me $1.5 million and otherwise I'll go. Well, in that case, just go then. So obviously these are hypothetical numbers, but this is, blackmail. If you put yourself in the shoes of your employer, if he were to agree, or he or she were to agree, there would be a queue, right? The next day with people doing the same. So it's usually quite a non-negotiable to go with blackmailing, right? So it doesn't end well, and it also doesn't look very good upon you in the sense of also what type of relationship would that be, right? If you work there on the basis of blackmail. And the way number 3 of not to do it is to compare yourself to somebody else. So-and-so has received the pay rise, so I should do as well. That so-and-so is probably providing another type of value for the company, is probably another stage of development within the company, and you don't have all the facts and figures, so comparing is also no reason why somebody should pay you more. And I think it's really important to realize that. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's actually cover the 5-step process for you to significantly increase your chances of getting a pay rise. So step number 1 is actually having a reality check. Are you in the right type of organization that allows pay rises? And I'm saying this because there's a lot of situations. So for example, if you're a public servant, so if you work for the government, depending on the government, obviously, where you are in the world, usually there's quite fixed salary tables that needs to be followed. There is maybe a 1% or 2% increase every year to adjust for inflation, but there's a very set rules of how to increase your salary. And so that might be a constraining factor. Or if you're in a company, where the board and management have been around for 28,000 years and you're 25 and your next salary review is when you're 50, right? I'm exaggerating, but you get the idea. In this case, what you can do, you should probably assess if you're with the right employer, maybe even in the right career. Obviously, career is usually a bit more difficult to change, but definitely assess if you're with the right employer and consider moving. So step number 2 is your self-worth. A lot of people have no clue what they are worth to the company. You are an individual with a unique set of experiences, of skills, of attitudes, and you need to get an idea about this when you go into a salary review meeting. So I've been in meetings where the conversation goes a bit like, ooh, I don't know how much I should get paid. What do you think? I don't know what, So that's not a really good way to approach it. And you can see people are not comfortable talking about money, and you need to get that confidence, or you should get that confidence before entering into a meeting like that. I will probably do a video about how you can work on your self-worth and what this involves. So if you would like to watch, please consider subscribing and put the notification bells on. so you don't miss the video. And otherwise, yeah, continuing and moving on. Step number 3, preparing for the meeting. This is the most crucial step. And how do you prepare for the meeting? You go through the past value that you have provided for the company. So you go back and you look at what you have achieved. How much more revenues have you increased? How much cost savings have you generated? What was the effect on the bottom line of the company? The better you can prepare, the more facts and figures and the more data you have, the better. I know it's not always easy to find this data and it needs some time, but it is time well spent, because you are going to get, if you're getting a pay rise, that really pays off over the years. And you look at the past, but you also look at the future, right? So if you're maybe working on an important project where you'll get significant benefits for the company going forward, you can use that. Or again, you go to the past and you prepare those facts and figures, put them in the PowerPoint if needed, and don't fib the numbers, okay? A good manager will immediately recognize that the numbers are not right. And if you do that, you lost it forever, right? So you completely burn the bridge. So do not fib the numbers, really important. So that would have been step number 3. Now, step number 4 is the meeting itself. So the meeting itself, it depends a bit on the company. They usually run every year, but that might not be the case. You might have to proactively organize the meeting. And so if they are every year, make sure you find out when they are so you can prepare. And, so usually what can also be, if it's in a bigger organization, your manager has meetings in a higher layer of management. So you need to prepare basically your manager, or it might not be the case if it's a smaller company. But the point is that you have to know the timing so you can prepare. And if it's you organizing the meeting, then, also great. Just pick a good day. Do not do it on a Monday at 9 a.m., right? That's not a good idea usually. Usually Fridays work really well. They have worked well for me, but it also depends, you have to know a bit the person you're going to talk to. And then before the meeting, be there 5 minutes. Go prepared, go with a good attitude. When you start the meeting, start with grace, start with gratitude, with appreciation for the work relationship, and pitch your numbers. Okay, and now moving on to step number 5. Step number 5 is following up, right? Get an agreement during the meeting and see how it kind of develops and follow up. And here there's an important sign that you should consider. If you don't get the pay rise, although you made it a no-brainer for your employer, there might be something else wrong. Maybe the company doesn't have enough profits to pay you more. Maybe, I guess, chemistry is not working between you and somebody else in the organization. That just happens. It's just how it is. And if that is the case, you should really consider taking a new opportunity, changing jobs, etc., right? So these are it's a really important phase in this process, is that you are aware of these signs, and that really you get the pay rise if you made a good case, and if not, just watch and see and listen to the arguments why you're not getting one. Okay, so let's do a recap. Let's do a recap on 5 steps for you to increase your chances on getting a pay rise. So step number 1 is do a reality check on your company. Are you working in the right organization that will allow you to get a pay rise? Number 2 is self-worth. Check your self-worth. What are you worth? Have an idea and get confidence with this, and get confident in talking about money when it comes to yourself. Number 3 is preparing really well for the meeting with value, past and future. Step number 4 is having the meeting, knowing the process when the meeting takes place, or organizing it yourself, having a good meeting with grace, gratitude, and being prepared in doing your pitch. And number 5 is really follow up. See that it doesn't get lost, and if it doesn't work, pay attention to the signs and what could be wrong, and consider changing roles. All right, so what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. This is a summary. There's many more points to discuss, but this would become a really long video. Happy to continue discussing on the comment section. Also, if you have another view, another idea, how to get pay rises effectively. And now that you're on a good way to get a pay rise, what are you going to do with the extra money? So I've made my first ever video, which you can find over here, talks about why you should have a plan so you can reach your financial goals and dreams. And my video over here talks about certain behaviors which are not very favorable for wealth building. And so you don't go out and waste your precious pay rise. Consider watching that video as well. So that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Also leave a like if you liked the video, if it provided value. I hope it did. And otherwise, I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy and have a good day. Bye-bye.